If you like Toyotas, you've come to the right channel. We have videos on the Toyota IM hatchback, the new Camry, the CHR, the 2017 Corolla, the Highlander, the Avalon, the Yaris, the world-famous 4Runner, and let's not forget the upgraded Lexus line. And in this video, we have another Toyota, a 2018 Corolla to be exact. I think most people buy a Corolla for its reliability rather than its body style, but I do think this is a pretty decent looking vehicle, especially in the red paint. I stand corrected. I look at the window sticker, it's not red paint, it's Barcelona red paint. They always have to invent these crazy names for paints, but whatever. And here we have the view from the side and view from the rear. The Corolla comes in different trim levels: the E, LE, LE Eco, the SE, which has a beef suspension, the XLE, and this one the XSE, which is top of the line and has just about, well, not everything is standard equipment, but pretty close. The base price of the L is $18,550. The XSE, with all the goodies that are standard, is $22,730. But as always, there were extras anyway to bump up the price. There's the premium audio system at $525, certainly reasonable in cost. Then we have an extra $1,100 for the TRD racing package. That's right, racing package on a Corolla. $80 for this TRD air cleaner. $300 for a TRD rear sway bar for that brisk handling we're all looking forward to. And a whopping $690 for this TRD racing exhaust, which is fogging up the lens on my camera a bit. We'll talk about this later. If you watch my videos, you know the first thing we do when we get a vehicle is take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. We're going to do that right now. It's dark enough, so let's check out these headlights and see how they perform in the dark. Look pretty bright up close. Guess we'll see. Here we have the headlights on a building 100 feet away. Lots of bright light, even though riding a bit low. Go to high beam. Looks bright to me. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away. Lots of light, good widespread. Excellent. Go to low beam. Doesn't quite reach, but still bright, good widespread. Great for city driving. Overall, I would say excellent headlights. Nothing to complain about. And certainly more than adequate when driving down dark city streets with no street lights. Smooth ride over those railroad tracks too. Another feature we're going to be doing in my videos now that summer is here is taking my temperature gun and seeing how certain paint colors perform in the heat. The outside temperature is 96 degrees off this white vehicle. We got 117.8. Let's round it off to 118. Here we have a black car, 155.6. Now our red beauty, 119.6. So not only a nice looking color, but this Barcelona red paint does a good job reflecting the heat as well. Keep that in mind when you're going down to the dealer and picking out your color. Let's take a look under the hood where we have a 1.8 liter 4-cylinder engine putting out 132 horsepower. There's supposed to be a 140 horsepower unit somewhere in the catalog, but we didn't get that. A 6-speed manual transmission is standard. We had the CVT automatic, which is rated at 28 mpg in the city, 35 on the highway, and 31 mpg overall. Personally, I wish they would give us a 6-speed automatic transmission instead of a CVT automatic, which I don't care for. That's a different subject for another video. However, the CVT automatic does have some advantages you might not get on other units from other manufacturers. For starters, there is a sport mode to liven things up a bit. Number 2, there is a manual shift mode, in which case you have 7 gears to choose from. There's also paddle shifters located on the steering wheel, not on the steering column like the Italians do, where they do not belong. They belong on the steering wheel, where they can always be reached. You can shift that way too. The only real drawback to a CVT automatic is it makes the engine rev a lot more than it should, causing a lot of droning engine noises that most people don't care for. In a normal car with a quiet exhaust, that wouldn't be an issue, but with the sport exhaust, yep, the sport exhaust we showed you earlier right down here, it really amplifies the noise and can be very annoying after a while. I'll demonstrate. Good for impressing your buddies at the burger stand, but on highway trips it can be very annoying after a while. One good thing about the sport exhaust, it makes you sound like you're going quick, even though you're really not. Real racing car sound there. Nice brakes as always. By the way, Toyota did an excellent job of taking this electric power steering and giving it some hydraulic feel, which seems to be common on almost all Toyotas now. Thank you very much. So does the racing suspension take away some of the ride quality? We'll hit some speed bumps and find out. Speed bump number 1, 20 miles per hour. Not bad. Next one, 25. Not bad. Speeding up to 30. And here's the nasty one. Not bad on that one either. I'd say we passed. With the B suspension and tires set at factory specs, I'm curious to see what we'll do in the turning circle. What do you think? Can we spin it out? Doing pretty good. A little bit of wheel spin from the rear. Not bad for an economy car. I'm sure you're interested in the fuel economy. I've been driving this for approximately 4 days. With 85% freeway driving at 70 miles per hour and 15% city driving, I was getting 28.5 mpg. Now on 50-50 mixed highway and city commuting, I am getting, well, let's look and see, 25.3 mpg. And keep in mind, this involved a lot of hard driving, 0 to 60 testing, a lot of passing. We were not driving for fuel economy at all. I've driven other Corollas, and definitely at 70 mile per hour cruising, you can definitely go over 30 mpg. We'll be doing some more driving and fuel economy testing coming up in the video. Stay tuned. In the meantime, we're going to check out the interior since we're sitting in it. And one minor gripe I have, you might have noticed if you were watching the video earlier, is the way the dash reflects into the windshield right here. Not a big deal. It only happens when you're facing the sun, but it can be annoying sometimes. You'll get used to it. As far as the rest of the cabin, you have room in the second row seating for 2 full-size adults. A nice large trunk. You do get a spare tire under here. Shut up, you stupid dog. Well, that got rid of him. You get a nice gauge cluster with lots of useful information. Nice large buttons. The usual cup holders in between the seats. Someone left me some money. I'm rich. A storage compartment in between the seats. Perfect place for your wallet. Here are the climate controls. No knobs, but still easy to use. An extra large glove box. And instead of those horrible electronic emergency brakes, which I cannot stand, a nice manual brake in between the seats, which I love. I did have 2 complaints, and you would think after 50 years of making the Corolla they would get this right, but they don't. The sun visor can be folded to the right and left on the other side for blocking out the sun. The problem is they don't slide, so they only block out part of the sun. You still have this gap on the side window, so in the early morning or late afternoon when the sun comes out, your face is getting baked. They can fix this at a stroke of a pen, but they don't, or won't. This needs to be corrected. Number 2, if you're like me, I like to rest my elbow on the inside door panel when I'm driving. It's nice and flat here, but unfortunately it tapers off there. My elbow keeps slipping off. This is what happens when car companies hire engineers out of college who have no experience building cars. This needs to be squared, not slanted. Maybe next year they'll correct this. Then again, maybe not. In any case, the quality of materials and workmanship is outstanding. No complaints there. And overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give the interior 9.5, deducting for the 2 complaints I had, but not a deal killer. Wouldn't stop me from buying the car anyway. For the rest of this video, we're going to do fuel economy testing to wrap things up. So keep watching. We're going to reset the mileage computer and do a quick freeway test to get some fuel economy. Let's see what happens. We're getting off the expressway. Let's see what we got. 28.4 mpg, but I was doing a lot of passing. Traffic's heavy. Not too bad. Here's the bad news. I just didn't have time to take this on a 75 mile per hour freeway trip for any long distance worthwhile anyhow. The good news is I've driven other Corollas with the same engine and gearbox and other Toyotas with the same engine and gearbox, and I know at 75 miles per hour on a long trip, you can easily do 31 to 33 mpg. In the meantime, if you're looking for a nice reliable car that's going to be running long after the warranty expires, you won't have to worry about this car expiring. They last a long time. Definitely worth a look if you're seeking a nice compact car for daily commuting. Although personally I cannot recommend that TRD exhaust on a car like this. I think I would avoid black paint unless I lived in Hawaii or Alaska. Here are some video links to other Toyota cars we've driven as of late. Just click on and watch.